Today's October 9th. These people, so when I was making my breakfast, and I told you how I would disinfect every single thing before I start to cook. And so I just want to make my tea, some boiled eggs, but I always have to wipe down the refrigerator doors and the egg case and everything. And then I wash my hands, and that's my routine, I do it. And then I was just using, paper napkin. So I didn't really wipe it down, the case, egg case. So I put it down on the counter. I opened the case, and then I washed my hands and just took out the eggs. I boiled it, all that, and with the paper napkin, I placed the egg case back in the fridge. That way I don't have to keep washing my hands. So then what happened was I was making my tea. I was doing something else in the container. I was just soaking some lentils. And so I just noticed that, I kept the container on the counter where I placed the eggs. So just because, and I'm like, okay, anyways, I have to boil it, right? Because I was to pressure cook it. I'm like, okay, not a big deal. But so they wanted to start honing into, they always hone into a thought. And then they start giving me shooting needle pain at that thought. So you touched the container, you placed it on the counter where the eggs were, but you did not disinfect the case of the eggs. So now the counter is filled with microorganisms. So now your container is filled with microorganisms. So now everything that you're touching is filled with microorganisms. So that is what they wanted to, they were going, okay? Because I immediately I had a thought, I just placed this here. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. It's not a big thing because I already had wiped it down yesterday, the bottom of the case. So I'm like, yeah, it should be okay because, it was the bottom of the case. So, but anyways, they wanted to hone into it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So they did it. They gave me shooting needle pain for 4 or 5 times, I believe, in my right side of my abdomen as usual. Then they stopped. Now, after shower, I was wearing this top. So I was noticing that, it's little short, kind of a little bit short, the top. I'm like, yeah, but it's okay, it's not bad. So I was just having this thought in my brain. So they started to give me shooting needle pain in the right side of my abdomen again. At the thought, okay? Because I had my eggs, I had my water, I did shower. Until that, there's nothing, okay? Only at a thought of this, look, I'm not sure if I want to wear these. I'm still having all these dilemma in my mind. I'm like, yeah, should I wear, should I not? And I've worn this before, it's not something. But just today, because I had a doubt, and whoever is watching, they have these watchers, they work in shifts, right? NSA, FBI, Jehovah's Witness, Hollywood, Bollywood, whatever. Delta Force, Navy SEALs, Green Berets, DARPA, all these people. So they work in shifts. So whoever this person is watching, so they hone into a thought and then they start poking. So they gave me 4 to 5 again, that shooting needle pain in the right side of my abdomen. So I had to come out here and make this video to let you know how my day is starting for today. So yeah, this is the BS I have to go. And by the way, even when I was soaking the lentils and I didn't wash my hands, because I already washed twice my hands before that, because I think although I used the paper napkin, I realized I did touch the case. I'm like, let me just wash my hands. So I had to wash my hands anyways. So I ended up washing my hands twice. So before I start to cook, I always wash my hands, and then just because I touched the case, I'm not sure if I want to, touch now everywhere. So again, I wash my hands. So I didn't want to wash it 3rd time, for that lentil thing. And so now they're giving me shooting needle pain in the right side of my abdomen again. When I said, I didn't want to wash it the 3rd time, and I showed you how, in my previous video, I showed you how I started to get all these, skin that was coming off. You can see all these skins that have started to come off because of continuous wash, or I'm using Clorox wipes continuously, So I didn't want to keep doing this all the time. And it's just bizarre. I mean, who does this? In real life, nobody does. I never used to do all this. Because of these people's hygiene programming too much. Like I said, I was actually checking the muffin today before I threw it out. I'm like, is there anything that I see visibly? Because when I was eating, I didn't see any visible, molds or anything on it. The taste was okay. There was nothing wrong with the taste, but immediately only, and before even I ate that, I already had doubt that these people will do something, because it was in the Ziploc bag of, these people. So they wanted to make issue of the inside of the Ziploc bag. So I wiped, outside of the Ziploc bag, I wiped the handle of the the freezer door, and now they're giving me shooting needle pain in the right side of my abdomen. When I said about the muffin, you see, they already want to hone into that muffin thing. They already had made up their mind. You see how, if I'm having a thought, this is a little bit short, should I really wear this? And it's still not bad, but it's still not bad. But yeah, just because I had thought they want to hone into it, then they started giving me shooting needle pain in the right side of my abdomen. So when I'm taking out the and I'm disinfecting all the outer side of the Ziploc bag and the counter, every single thing I disinfect, then I'm making sure that, I'm warming up. I wanted to warm up that must kind of grill it, on the stove. And so I did all that. So there was no thing for it to have so much infection in there that I would get so much sore throat. But I already had my doubts that these people they might hone into it. I thought they might put stone in my mouth, or they will give me that little bit of sore throat or fever that they usually give. I've told you so many times, anytime I try to eat their food, or even they feel like, oh, there's a little bit of contamination here and there, they used to give me immediate fever that would last like less than 24 hours. And it used to be always mild fever or mild sore throat that they will give, always. And that's why I had to keep every single thing. I had to start keeping separate. I couldn't eat their food. Oh, because look, your mother-in-law touched her head, and now she's touching this. Oh, your mother-in-law was outside, and she did not wash her hands, and she started to cook. Oh, your father-in-law, he touched the trash can, and now look, he's touching everywhere without washing his hands. So everything is filled with microorganisms. Like the same hygiene programming. Oh, they want to hone into a thought because I've become so observational, observation power. I got all this after their continuous hygiene programming. So anyway, so today, when I did not, wash my hands again for the third time, they were giving me shooting needle pain on the right side of my abdomen. But then they pulled a little bit of my right eardrum, and they also gave me a minor electric shock on the right side of my head. So for that one thing, oh look, you touched a container on the counter on which you placed that egg case, but the egg case, you did not wipe it down today. Every single day you are supposed to wipe down the egg case. Okay. You see how they do mind programming of me? For every single day, for every little things that I have to wipe down. Any single time I go cook my lunch, my dinner, anything, I have to wipe down every single thing. Oh, look, you did not wipe down. Now they're giving me shooting needle pain as I'm talking, because they again want to hone into the same thing. You see, when they gave me shooting needle pain, I was talking before that about other stuff. They didn't do anything. When I was talking about my mother-in-law, father-in-law, they didn't do anything. But the moment I came to that egg case thing, they again gave me shooting needle pain. You see? They again want to hone into that thought. Oh, look, you touched here. Oh, no. That's the end of it. It's like, oh, you're going to get so sick. I mean, I became so observatory. I used to go to other people's house whenever I went. I used to observe how they are cooking. Are they really washing their hands? Are they disinfecting their refrigerator handles, their microwave handles, their trays every single time they do? No, nobody does that. Who does that in real world? Nobody does that. But just because these people have given induced fever, induced sore throat, or pulling of my eardrum, or electric shock, or shooting needle pain, okay, I have to do all this. But I mean, for this little stuff, I mean, I can't keep doing it and keep washing my hands and, damaging my skin all the time. And I know all of this is induced. this is the severity of the sore throat and the fever that these people have given. It is all induced. It's all pure black magic and witchcraft. Because the 10-11 years that I've stayed in this house, I never had this kind of sore throat or fever. But they just want to make issue about that, oh, muffin thing. Oh, it was inside their bag. You have touched this with all kind of hands, and so that is dirty. So because I might have taken out the muffin, previously for my hubby, but back then I did not disinfect the handle of the freezer, and with that freezer was provided, it was filled with microorganisms, and now you're touching the muffin. But he ate it. He never had any problem. It was this last muffin that was left, and so these people, and like I said, I didn't even eat half the muffin. I ate like 1/4 of it, and that was it. They wanted to hone into that and make such a big issue about it that they gave me this severe and like montauk.net guy said, they have the ability to induce physical illnesses in people, including cancer. And that is why I know that one of my classmates was killed or murdered by these people when they gave her induced stomach cancer. She had just graduated, after her bachelor's, and she was all perfectly fine. But just because she had rejected her boyfriend, well, not rejected, but she was just, her parents didn't want her to marry her boyfriend, and so that was it. She was forced to look at some other guys, and so that's it. These people just gave her induced cancer within that 2 months time frame. After all this developed, within 2 months she was given this stomach cancer, and that was it. She died. If you're not gonna marry your boyfriend, that's it. We'll make sure you're killed, you're murdered. But this is how they do induced illnesses, and montauk.net guy clearly said they have the ability to give physical illnesses, including cancer. So yeah, they can do witchcraft, they can do sore throat, fever, everything, because there are 300 witches in one military base. What do you think they're doing there? They don't need all this COVID stuff. They can give any kind of witchcraft stuff to anybody at any time. But maybe COVID has another agenda there. Maybe they're trying to put some graphene material in people, or they're trying to put third DNA strand in the people. I don't know why they're pushing so much for the COVID, or it could be like part of their pre-programming for the mark of the beast system. Who knows? It could be anything. But yeah, if they want, they can kill anybody at any time. If they are giving me heart palpitations, which I know that are induced, they can give heart attack to anybody at any time.